first track I want to talk about is the Ghost of Soulja Slim. Soulja Slim is a legendary MC from New Orleans who passed away. Electronica did a track about 10 years ago called The Ghost of Christopher Wallace. What a cool concept. He's kind of paying homage to these fallen legendary MCs who are now ancestors and who I think he pulls inspiration from. Ghost of Christopher Wallace was a banger. Hard beat. This album doesn't have really hard beats like previously, in my opinion, but that's fine because Electronica and Jay-Z are doing whatever they want to do. The beat on this one has kind of a interesting loop. Well, I'm not really here to talk about beats right now. I had to really wrap my head around how much Jay-Z was on this album. I'm like, because I wanted all Electronica bars. If you think about the Ghost of Christopher Wallace, it's two very packed, robust verses. Anyway, so in my opinion, my first impressions were like, yo, Jay-Z, he's stealing Electronica's shine. But I kind of think about this album as almost like a Watch the Throne type of album, so that's fine. Let's talk about the lyrics and the inspiration, because that's what interests me most. Jay-Z's talking about, one line he says is the destruction of a civilization happens from within. He says, no civilization is conquered from the outside until it has destroyed itself from within. Now, what an interesting thing to be talking about. Jay-Z actually, he's come from the bottom. Now he's at the top of hip-hop in the music industry. And I think he's still advocating for the hip-hop culture, black culture. His documentaries on Khalif Browder, Trayvon, etc. It made me think about this book here, The Destruction of Black Civilization. I'm sure Jay-Z is familiar with this book, but on a deeper level. Perhaps he's even talking about contemporary black America. I'm broadcasting live from Toronto, so contemporary black diaspora, and maybe even more focused on contemporary hip-hop culture. Hip-hop, I would say now, artists are making more money than ever, but hey, I would say it's still valuable for us to think about where we're going and be conscious of how civilizations or cultures are destroyed from within. And there's a lot of things to think about with that lyric, with a lyric like that. Where are we? How healthy, how strong are we? Especially the voices. In my opinion, not enough artists are representing themselves as fathers and as parents, and a lot of them are. You have someone like Little Boosie. He raises his kids online. He's a strong father. You have artists like Waka Flocka and Chameleonaire, who are now businessmen and who are now investors. They don't even rap too much. So there's a lot of positive things. But bars like that make me think about, okay, how is our civilization, how is our culture moving forward, and what are the fabrics that are strong, and what are the fabrics that are weak? So that verse kind of made me think about that. Now we move on to Electronica's verse, and he is representing his Muslim faith hardcore. He's got a really cool bar. Interesting about what does he say? The synagogue of Shaitan wants me to hang from my collar, but I still represent Allah, Subhanahu Wa Ta Ala. That's that Subhanahu Wa Ta Ala. I'm so sorry for people who are of the Muslim faith if I'm butchering that Arabic word. That's the second time he's mentioned that in a lyric. The first was his bar in Exhibit C. Electronica, Yamaka. I'm not even going to go there because I'm a little bit tired. Anyway, he is representing his faith on this lyric. And I think that's very important because that's who he is. That's what makes him dope. And I draw a lot of inspiration from it. I'm not Muslim myself, but I think it adds a lot of credibility to who he is. It's interesting with these songs, he doesn't really mention Soulja Slim. He doesn't mention too much about Biggie in the first one, but I think what Jay-Z was saying kind of makes me more provoked to think about civilization, history, the health of our culture, more so than Electronica's lyric. But I appreciate that song, and it made me think a lot. And I want rap to make me think, especially as a grown man. So that song is dope. It made me think about a lot of stuff.